Welcome to BSC Designer Professional. This Getting Started video will help our new users to understand what BSC Designer is all about. BSC Designer is a strategy execution software. And how do companies execute their strategies? Well, most companies follow these steps. They formulate their goals and strategic plans, then they define and track performance metrics, then they create some dashboards and define action plans, and of course companies are trying to explain their strategy to their employees. Many companies start with having a long list of KPIs in a spreadsheet software, and they're drawing their strategy map with some presentation tool. This might work on early stage when there are just few indicators to track, but if you plan to scale, you need some tool specifically designed for these challenges. In this case, BSC Designer is an excellent option that is recognized by many business professionals from Latin America, United States, Europe, and Asia. This software automates many aspects of strategy execution so that you could focus on real job, not on maintaining complicated spreadsheets. So I'm going to open some sample scorecard created in BSC Designer and showcase you some of the features. Here I have a sample scorecard created with a BSC Designer Professional. Let's have a look at it. Here we have KPI tab, where the goals and performance metrics are formulated. On the Strategy Map tab, the software shows a visual picture of strategy, business goals, their indicators, and connections between them. Additionally, we have a Dashboard tab where we can add charts for various indicators. When executing strategy, we want to know how we are going. We can track this on Analysis tab or using various reports. Finally, our team needs to be informed about important changes in the indicators and goals, and we can do all this on the Alerts tab. I guess some of you had frustrating experience with managing scorecards and spreadsheet software and would like to know how BSC Designer is different. Well, in the contrast from spreadsheet software, creating a scorecard in BSC Designer is much easier, as this software takes care of all the calculations and it can even build a strategy map automatically. Let's give it a try. I will now create a new scorecard. Here in File menu, I will select New and we'll put here some name, like for example Demo. And let's do a short overview of the features that we can use. First of all, we have here 4 perspectives, and obviously I can add more if needed. And here on Strategy Map, the software creates a strategy map for me, which is now blank, but obviously it will be updated as soon as we'll add more goals and KPIs. Now let's add some goal. To do this, I will need to pick some perspective, like financial perspective. Click this button here and put some name for this goal. It can be increase profits, for example, if we are talking about some financial goal. Okay, what indicator can we use to measure the performance of this goal? We're talking now about the login indicator, so I will put this indicator, the number of subscriptions. So the profits will depend on the subscriptions that we have. Okay, let's switch to Strategy Map to see what we have. We have our goal and this login indicator. Its color stands for login indicator, aligned with this goal. Let's create some other goal. Here in this customer perspective, it can be improve customer service, for example. Okay, how are we going to measure this goal? we can come up with some indicators. One can be, for example, first call resolution rate, or better say first contact resolution rate. We can also track another indicator, which is response time. Again, switching to strategy map will show me this picture. And talking about these two indicators, I would say that first contact resolution rate and response time indicator, they have a little bit different meaning in the context of this goal. So probably response time is a leading indicator, while first call resolution rate, first contact resolution rate is a lagging indicator. Okay, what else can we say about these two indicators? First of all, they use different measure units. The first call resolution rate is probably an indicator measured in %, while response time is measured in hours, for example, if we're talking about answer by email. That's good. Let's put some data here. First contact resolution rate, what might be some random value? Let's put here 80%. And response time, what it might be? Let's put here 3 hours. Now the software pre-filled for me the baseline and the target, as well the baseline and the target for these indicators. So I need to adjust them as well. It's fine to have this baseline and target for first contact rate. What about response time? I would suggest to do one thing. When we're talking about first contact resolution rate, we want to maximize the value of this indicator. We want to respond more queries during the first call. So the optimization for this indicator is maximize. While talking about response time, I think we want to minimize it. We want to respond faster. So I will change this in this way. Now look how the software calculated for me. Take this scale and this value and calculate the performance for me. So obviously our baseline is not 100 hours. It's, for example, 24 hours. And our target might be 1 hour. So let's see how this is calculated. We can control it here in the performance and progress columns, and we also can track it in this chart here. So if the value of this indicator is increased, the arrow here will be moving to the direction of red zone, and if it is decreased, we are moving in the green zone. The opposite thing happens with first contact resolution rate. When increasing its value, we are moving closer to the green color. So that's how the software calculated this indicator for us. Let's go back to the strategy map. So what we have here, we have one goal, two goals, second goal, and we can continue adding more goals here. Actually, I can add some goals directly from strategy map. So I can just pick the perspective where I want it to be and do these actions. For example, our internal goal can be create some theorem, just an example. Okay, so why do we use a strategy map? It is not just a visual picture. It's also the way to explain the cause and effect connection between the goals. So let's explain this connection to the software. I don't have much goals here, so let's link these two goals to tell the software that improving customer service will lead to increasing profits. When I do so, when I link to these indicators, the software will ask me, would you like to link logging part of improve customer service to the leading part of increased profits? I will agree and I will comment what does it mean. So basically this goal has two indicators. One is leading, that tells us how effective were our actions in terms of how efficient were our actions in terms of improving customer service. And the first contact resolution rate basically validates the result. So if the faster respond, we can add some more indicators here, some training, if all that help to actually achieve higher customer satisfaction, if it helped to achieve higher first contact resolution rate. So the final performance of this goal is calculated using login indicators, and it is translated here to the increase profits goal as a leading indicator. We have it here, the green line. So that's how the software, the basic functionality of the software works. We can go ahead improving the scorecard, adding some dashboards. Let's add some. We can build some charts. We can do some analysis for the metrics that we have. We can create alerts to make sure our team receive important notifications. For example, if some indicator has gotten to the red zone, we can do all of this. And one thing to keep in mind, that for the purpose of this demo, I use just manual data entry here. I pick some date in the calendar and I entered some value here. This is one way to enter data, but obviously you have access to other ways to enter data. You can, for example, import from MS Excel document, or you can do you cascade your scorecard and link this scorecard to other scorecard, to indicators and goals and other scorecard. I think it's enough for the review, and just to mention that we have specific videos for almost all features of the software. So if you struggle with some question about how to do this, how to do that, just look at our website. You will obviously find the video tutorial about how to do this. And should you have any questions, just don't hesitate to contact us using our contact form or this option in the software. And I guess you have already downloaded a trial version. If not, I would recommend for you to do this and to give a try to all the functions of the software yourself.